Thursday, March 23rd. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight, your PAX East 2010 Survival Guide.
Let's do this.
Hey, it's coming.
Oh, shit.
It's coming.
Oh, shit.
This is the last show before it comes.
Oh, snap.
PAX
It might
East,
as well be here.
I don't know. I cannot say if PAX East is going to be 100% as awesome as PAX West.
I have a feeling there will be more people.
I have a feeling that PAX
But
East
I am
is
unsure.
going to vastly surpass PAX West in terms of number of people in the coming years.
Yes.
I'm talking like by 20 or 30,000.
But I am curious as to the culture of PAX East. You see, PAX West was able to build its culture from the lowly Necrowomicon up and up and up, right?
It also built kind of in a weird vacuum. I mean, think about it. In the East, we have this incestuous, like a million gigantic anime cons and gaming cons and everything. And there's a huge overlap of all these cons. But then out west, I mean, the cities are further apart and there's fewer people in each location. Not that many people from PAX West went to all these other conventions in the area.
Yeah, and also, remember the New York Comic Con was pretty, every convention I've ever been to, right, has built up small to big over time. Otakon started Hotel Con.
Well, the New York Comic Con started too big.
I was about to say that the New York Comic Con is pretty much the only con that went zero to gigantic. Immediately. Boom, first con, gigantic, thousands of people. And it had serious problems for years as a result. So I am wondering if PAX East, despite the awesomeness of PAX and the awesomeness of all the people getting the shit done, will they be able to handle the 0 to maximum size immediate, increase or not?
I mean, at least they have Reed and they have a lot of the PAX West enforcers. And from what I can gather, a lot of people who normally go to PAX West are kind of flying out for this thing.
That's good. That's necessary. We need them to
really,
be the seed to spread the correct mood about.
There are two completely separate factors here. On one hand, there's the logistics. I mean, can it be the same? Seattle is a very different city.
It's a different convention center, a different city, different people.
Actually, though, they're very similar convention centers, like surprisingly similar when you think about it.
A little bit. They have malls. They have malls. Yeah.
I think they both will have better staff, like local staff, than, say, the Baltimore Convention Center.
Well, I don't know. The Anime Boston, the staff were not so great. The convention center staff.
Yeah, but they were at least 4 or 5 times better than the Baltimore staff.
That's true.
Or like the DC staff.
That's true. Yeah, well, it remains to be seen. Regardless, if it sucks, it's not our fault.
Yeah, of course, it's tough because if PAX East somehow fails and does not live up to the expectations, all we're going to say is, well, everything we said was based on PAX West, which we will continue to go to.
Yeah, so it's not.
Well, I think it's going to be good in the long run. I mean, PAX East is probably going to be great. It's going to be different, definitely. They've brought a lot of the same culture. Like, look, the same kind of concerts. The same concerts, in fact. It's the same people.
It's the same concerts every year. It's not any different.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot of the same stuff. But it'll be interesting because at PAX West, it's mostly people who know what to expect. Like, oh, the keynote's going to be this. Go to the keynote. The first Q&A is this. I mean, maybe at PAX East, all these people who've never been to PAX before, they're going to go to the Q&A and basically actually ask normal kind of questions.
Oh, it could be a roller coaster situation, right? The people at PAX West have mostly been to PAX West, so it's like, riding the roller coaster again. But people who go to PAX East, it's like riding the tallest roller coaster for the first time ever.
Remember our first PAX?
So
we showed up.
So there might be
just
thousands of people who are just like, fuck.
I mean, the same thing happened with Otakon. I remember my first Otakon. I was dumbstruck at how big that con was.
All right, well, we're going to talk about this for the rest of the show, so let's, get the rest of the stuff out of the way so we can get to it.
Well, it is, it's that season of the year, the time when young boys want to play DDR again.
Well, I got the home theater PC, and we all know about Stepmania, the open source, I think it's open source, pretty sure, free program.
It's at least free as in beer.
Yeah, it's basically a clone of DDR, except it doesn't come with any songs. It's basically all the non-copyrighted parts, and then you go and you pirate all the songs and the step files. files.
No. You nominally make your own that happen to be exactly identical.
Or you
to Stomp
download
to my beat.
the other ones that are made by the community. Actually, I downloaded all the winners of the Stepmania contest files from the Stepmania website.
Have you played any of them?
Some of them are all right.
Yeah, but by and large, the community made ones are
Well,
either...
these are like the highest rated community made ones. Like
But watch out, the community is really fucked up. And a lot of the very like popular ones are just stupid hard. I'm a loser who spends all my time playing DDR. Brrr, arrows.
One of them was actually cool. It was like a Riverdance kind of situation.
Ooh, I could dig that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was thinking that's the obvious move when you want to bring DDR to your home theater PC and you already have a dance pad. But then I realized, wait a minute, I've got this PlayStation emulator. Why don't I just go and get DDR 4th mix, extra mix, and 5th mix and kick it old school with the real deal?
The saddest part about what you're about to say is that we in fact had nice burned physical media of every DDR mix we cared about from the PS1 era.
Which were the 3 I just mentioned.
Those CDs have worn out to the point of being gone. I can't even rip an ISO off of them.
Yeah, I can't even find... And the thing is, I'm trying to find these things on the internet. I found extra mix. It works. But it's got this problem where the timing is off. So
I had that happen with the legitimate extra mix.
It's effectively unplayable, right? And if I downloaded a 5th mix disc, I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna try it when I get home. And 4th mix, right? Why is 4th mix is the best DDR ever? 4th mix plus is the best DDR arcade ever. Why are they the hardest DDRs to find in the world?
I don't know.
It's like it's easier to find a 3rd mix than it is to find a 4th. 4th is just the best DDR, period. No DDR has ever surpassed it.
It has the kind of poppy, dancey music that I think just children of the 80s like to dance to. And then it moved more and more into kind of more modern techno-y dancing and bump, bump, bump.
Anyway, if I'm ever mega rich, I'm going to get a 4th Mix Plus machine.
Oh my God, that is near the... I'd like a 4th Mix Plus machine, and independent of that, probably a 12th Mix machine that I just modded to be a Stepmania machine.
So anyone who's got DDRs, give me the hookup. And don't tell me to go buy a legitimate Japanese disc. That's like impossible.
Well, I remember back in the day, it wasn't that hard to get them. Remember when Red Octane was basically Netflix of PS1 games?
That was a good day.
Red Octane had a service.
People don't remember that Red Octane used to be game rental instead of what it is now.
So what their service was you would say give them like $5 and they'd mail you a DVD or a CD. It was a CD of a PS1 game. You would burn it and mail it back to them the same day, and then they'd mail you another CD.
It was at Netflix of games. Just there are other Netflixes of games, but Red Octane specialized in
people only renting games to pirate
and
them.
also lots of foreign Japanese games, specifically DDR and such, right? And they actually sold dance pads. That's why they make dance pads currently, is because of that business.
In fact, we went through like 7 or 8 pairs of the soft Red Octane pads.
And then the fact that they made pads, their business evolved away from the game rental to the pad making, and then to the Guitar Hero guitar making, and then
the game rental was self-limiting.
Then
no one rented any games from them but Japanese games and DDR, and no one ever rented a game twice.
Yep,
for obvious reasons.
Yep. Also because it was mostly PS1 games.
But I remember back then, I got 4th Mix and 4th Mix Plus, and we played them like every day.
4th Mix and Extra Mix.
Yeah, which together are almost a 4th Mix Plus arcade machine.
Yep, missing a few songs here and there.
But then, we had all that, and this was kind of still in the early days of modern piracy and even like anime fan subs and all that. And one day, a friend of ours was like, I got 5th Mix.
Oh, shit.
We spent like a weekend straight playing that game. My legs hurt. I couldn't walk.
Yep. And then DDR died. It's sort of like the same thing in Magic the Gathering. After, Fallen Empires, whatever, it's dead.
Thing is, it keeps coming back. And for me personally, I love DDR. And you know what?
Magic the Gathering keeps coming back.
It's still really popular.
Not to us, though.
Not to us, but to the world. DDR is not popular to the world. It is popular to us and to the people who go to anime conventions.
And not even a lot of them anymore.
Yeah, it's really sad. But they like that stupid poppin' music. Fuck that game.
Well, not too many people like it. Just one guy really, really likes it.
Maybe it is just that guy.
I'm pretty sure it is.
He's at every con, and you
always
think...
No, he wasn't. He was at Katsucon, and that
maybe
was it.
He's at every con. You always see the line. Maybe it's just people standing there trying to play. They see him there. They can't play. They leave. No one actually plays it but him.
We should have just taken it off the projector.
Just broken it. Like,
anyway.
I don't know why the sound stopped working on just that game.
Yeah, anyway.
But DDR is, to this day, possibly one of my favorite games ever. Like, I always want to play it.
Yes, it is so fun to have the computer control your feet.
Think about it. When was the last time you were in the presence of a DDR machine and not at a convention, and you didn't at least want to play it? course, how many DDR machines are there? There's like one in Manhattan.
Yeah. Okay. And there's always Asians.
Yeah, so we'll do a quick news. We weren't even going to talk about video game news because who cares? PAX is coming up. But
PAX East is the gaming news.
we have to talk about the fact that Nintendo is releasing a new DS that's 3D.
And it's supposedly 3D without glasses.
Well, here's the commentary I've seen. Nintendo is not going to make a PS3. They're not going to use the current like high-end 3D technology that you can get like they're selling for PlayStations or whatever that they're going to use for modern Sony TVs.
Yep.
That's way too expensive, and they don't want to use glasses and all that business. They're probably going to do something really cheap, and everyone says that it's going to use the camera to look at where your head is and do it. Remember that old demo of the guy who had all the targets on his monitor? And he had a webcam that watched where his head was.
Oh, really? Because the thing was, there was a DS game or a DSi game, all right, that there's a video of you can watch online. And the way this game works is it actually uses the camera on the DSi to look at the floor or whatever's behind the DS. And when you move the DSi around, it moves the picture in the game around. So it looks like you're sort of looking into a diorama. It doesn't pop out of the screen, but it goes deep into the screen. And the thing is, why do you need to if that's the technology they're going to use, that is cheap, that is a very, impressive looking technology, that is something that is feasible, right?
Yep.
That is 3D. The question is, the DSi can already do it, so why would you make the 3DS to do it, right? There has to be something different for them to make a new, different piece of hardware to add this technology and to require, right?
One option there is simply Potato Moto. They want more money.
It's possible.
They might add some other tchotchke support. Maybe.
Plus,
it'll be
I would say it's false advertising to call it 3D, right? Unless it comes out of the screen. And this is another problem.
Well, 3D. I mean, Star Fox was 3D.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is I was pissed in those days too when people said like Quake was 3D, and I would argue with people because they'd be like, look. It's on a flat screen. It's not 3D. If I draw a cube on this piece of paper, is that 3D?
Well, it's a projection of a three-dimensional object in a two-dimensional space.
Yes. So if that's 3D, then
this is like 10D.
Then all they need to do, then Mario 64 on the DS, right, is 3D. So the 3D DS is no different. It's just it might as well be. It's probably just going to be like a DS with an NVIDIA chip in it or some shit.
Well, the thing is, the other way they could do it, I don't think they will do it this way, is if you held it like a book, right? And maybe they'll do multiple things.
It's magic eyeball.
Yeah, you could the stereoscopic effect. You can do that with like normal software anyway.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah,
and it won't work for a lot of people. It'll give people eye strain. It'll be a big problem. It won't work.
Anyone who doesn't work for it just doesn't understand how to do it, though.
That's true, but the thing is that Nintendo's not going to make a product that doesn't work for everybody.
Though I will say,
it'll never happen.
While it does work for me, my whole life I've hated Magic Eye. When I remember that was like the big craze in all the malls in the 90s.
Right. I Spy also was a craze.
But my trouble is, I tend to always cross my eyes inward as opposed to outward when I look at those things. And it's very hard for me to stop that from happening. So the image sinks, but the 3Dness is 100% reversed.
Oh, really?
So I see everything going in as opposed to out.
Ah.
That's just my brain. It can't handle it.
Yep, I guess it's just your brain.
What's really going on here, we're not sure all the details. I don't want to talk about the technical details. There's a million, it's all a rumor at this point until Nintendo says, here's what it is. We're calling it the poop.
Yep. You see that joke from somewhere on the internet?
I thought of it just now.
All right. No, the only thing I'll say is...
What are they doing? Look, 3D is the current buzzword. There's 3D TVs, Avatar, and Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, it's like they dissed HD, so they got to do 3D.
But right now, while it's the big thing, they're going to release the cheap handheld 3D console, and all the people who bought... Basically, the current demographic of Nintendo are the people who are going to buy this shit. It's not us.
I'm going to say the same thing I say when I bought the DS, right? Which is, look, this thing is either going to be the Virtual Boy or it's going to be amazing. And
I don't think so anymore.
You don't think so?
It's not. The DS was Virtual Boy or amazing. It ended up being amazing, except once Nintendo said, "Oh, it's amazing," they stopped trying, and it actually kind of stopped being amazing. What was the last DS game we cared about?
I just bought Edgeworth Investigations. It's awesome. I just haven't played it yet because I've been reading books.
All right, name another one.
The hero, what's it called? The Clash of Heroes.
Yep, I'm actually excited about that in a big way.
You know what the thing is though? Like I admit I pirated it for the DS. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes is coming to the Xbox such and such, right? I can play it on the Xbox Live HD. So I'm going to pay monies for that, and that'll be fair. And then I won't play the DS one anymore because I'll play the HD one.
But look at the DS. It was a huge I remember people thought the DS was going to fail back in the day. A lot of people were like, this thing.
In which case I said, awesome, I'll own a Virtual Boy.
Yes. But back then, the dichotomy was it's either going to be a crazy success and like the new era of gaming or a Virtual Boy. The DSi and this new 3D DS are not, they cannot be Virtual Boys. They're going to be either middle of the road, like milquetoast mediocre, or they're going to be moneymakers.
Maybe.
There's a tiny chance of awesome, but there's almost no chance of Virtual Boy because Virtual Boy 1 was a hideous monstrosity, a disaster. It gave you a headache just looking at it. No one bought it. Like it was such a disaster that it was almost more popular as a result. It was so bad. It's kind of awesome. It's dangerous.
The only thing
it's approaching most dangerous.
The only thing I have to add, right, is that whenever Nintendo has tried to like sort of refine a handheld portable system, right, like they refine the GBA into the what's it called, the SP, right? It was a refinement. They refined the Game Boy into the Game Boy Pocket. The refinements that were successful were always the first refinements, the DS into the DS Lite. And the reason those refinements were successful is because the original version had some hideous flaw, usually being too gigantic, too battery hungry, no backlight, etc. Right? The further refinements, the GBA Micro, and such and such.
I think those just prey on people who have extra money.
Yeah, the DSi. These were relative failures. Because they basically, DSi is better than the DS Lite, but it loses the GBA slot. It's not a refinement. It's sort of like an
yeah.
Right. So I think that if you are the kind of person who wants to save money, right, what I would do is wait for the 3DS Lite, and that will be the first refinement. And you can just keep that forever, and that'll be perfect.
Now, this is the problem with Nintendo. I'm going to go way back to the money level, because the Wii, I would say, in terms of like profitability and like good move for Nintendo, all told, and the DS were like the best thing they ever could have done. I mean, the Wii sold like crazy. It's still ultra popular and important, but Nintendo has gotten to the point with me to where I no longer buy even their first party titles sight unseen. It used to be.
I do buy their first party titles sight unseen. Where the fuck are they? I'm waiting for Metroid Other M. I'm waiting for freaking Mario Galaxy 2.
Or even the big second party
I'm waiting for
titles.
another Zelda game.
To quote Will Wright, where is the next Advance Wars?
Right. Where is Advance Wars DS again? Where is...
But even then, look on the DS. Zelda game that's worse than the previous Zelda game that came out.
Where's Mario Kart Wii 2? Where they aren't even making Mario Tennis 2 or anything. Where are the first party games? They're not existent.
Because that's not those
there isn't
games,
even another Mario Party.
I don't think those games are Nintendo's primary demographic anymore. I don't think those make them nearly as much money.
The last one was New Super Mario Brothers, which I'll wait until it's cheaper.
But that's the other problem. We no longer have the urgency. I don't think Mario Party N came out. Oh shit, I need it today.
No, because that's not. But if it was Zelda new. I would need it today.
I don't know if I do
anymore. It was
anymore.
Metroid Other M. I need it today.
Nintendo always had this special place for me where I would buy their games at full price right away because I had to play them. They were great.
If it was Smash Brothers, Royal Rumble insanity, yes, I buy it today.
But look at PC gaming now. I wait on anything that isn't multiplayer.
That's true.
And even then, I wait.
And I would Half-Life Episode 3. I would get.
I wait for anything that isn't, unless I can get all my friends to also wait. And if they'll do that, I wait even on multiplayer games. I no longer have urgency, and Nintendo's in the weird spot because their first party games usually don't get cheaper anytime soon.
Yeah,
and it almost makes me just not bother with them anymore. While PC, I'll wait and buy a game for $5 that I never play.
Yep, on Steam. Oh, well.
I don't know.
I still would not bet against a Nintendo portable platform.
I would not bet against it. It's going to be a moneymaker. I guarantee it. But it's not going to be...
New Mario Brothers Wii is $43 on Amazon. The cheapest used copy is $38.49. So it's going to be some waiting.
Yep. But the 3D DS is not for us, I don't think.
I don't know. We'll see what games come out for it. 3D Advance Wars.
What could that add to Advance Wars?
You can fly the airplanes on top of a boat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
It would be so awesome. You can move guys up and down. They're actually standing on a mountain up above, shooting down on another guy.
But I can already do that in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, maybe Final Fantasy Tactics 3D.
But I don't like those games anymore.
Phoenix Wright 3D, you got to look around behind
That
stuff.
would be cool. If you had a crime scene, you got to investigate it in 3D.
Mm.
You hold the DS up to your face and walk around in a semi-VR world. Plus, remember this. Here's the crux. We will think of 1,000 awesome things that
Nintendo will never do.
Nintendo is going to make one game that almost achieves that to prove that the console is viable.
3D Mario Tennis, where Mario is like out in front of the DS and your opponents are deep in the DS.
Once they make that one game that proves what it's capable of on some small level, every other game is going to be basically a Phantom Hourglass 2.
Yep.
Things of the day. College humor again, but you might not have watched
You might
this.
as well just make your thing of the day. collegehumor.com/videos RSS feed.
However, there are two classes of people that this will be relevant for. I mean, of all of our listeners, from what I can gather, almost none of you actually go to College Humor on a regular basis to watch the videos. And two, I don't watch all the videos. I kind of only watch the ones that I know are going to be good. And I think you have this too, the kind of College Humor sense, or the YouTube
But you can
sense.
look at a thumbnail and the title and tell if you want to watch a video or not.
At least 90% of the time.
Yep.
But this was a video that I would not have watched. I wouldn't have even thought about it because there's a million videos like this. There's a guy who sings like 32 songs in 8 minutes. No big deal. I was working on some Geeknights stuff ahead of PAX, and I just kind of clicked on it in the background, figure, I'll listen to it, not watch it while I'm doing something. This is a surprisingly nerdy and awesome collection of songs that this guy sings. And I don't want to spoil anything for you. I think you should just learn what songs are in this list organically. But any song, no matter what the lyrics are, sounds pretty great if you sing it as a ballad with an acoustic guitar.
Okay, so let me tell you about this story, right? There's a Nintendo DS game.
I thought you were going to tell me about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No. There is a Nintendo DS game called Imagine Baby's Fashion. Look at this game.
All right, is that the Babies brand, or is that some other Babies
I have no
brand?
idea. It's Babies with a Z. It's Imagine Baby's Fashion with a Z.
Wait
right?
a minute, where are you going with this? I can foresee ranging from it's actually a good game to it was banned somewhere for accidentally being child porn.
No. Okay, so here's the story. There's a forum called the NeoGAF forum, right? It's a famous video game forum where all sorts of video game people go. It's very famous and popular. I don't go there, but it is famous and important. There was a guy on this forum named Cuyahoga, CuyahogA, right? And he posted in a thread about Imagine Baby's Fashion, about how he actually liked it. And of course, a typical lowbrow shitcock internet flame war ensued.
Of course.
People calling him a pedophile, which I suspect he may be. I don't know. I don't know, but he likes his Baby's Fashion game. Chance of pedophilia greater than 0, right?
He might just really be into fashion. I mean, does he have adults fashion too?
I have no idea. Regardless, right? In this flame war, in one post, he said, or typed, "So, I'm a pedophile because I don't want to play Dude Bro, my shit is fucked up, so I got to shoot slice you too, it's straight up dog time, ? To throw around these sort of accusations as someone who seeks to do something different suggests quite the insecurity on your part." He came up with this amazing game title. Dude, bro, my shit is fucked up, so I got to shoot slice you, too. It's straight up dog time.
I would play that. I mean, that sounds like the alternate title for Bayonetta.
So, him coming up with this game title, right, spawned the awesomest outpouring of creativity. Well, not the awesomest ever, but a huge internet outpouring of creativity as people began to create concept art for this game, titles for this game, mock-ups of this game, and it seems like people are actually making this game. Dude, bro, my shit is fucked up, so I got to shoot slice you too. It's straight up dog time. Is probably going to become a real game, and as you can see, there are many parodies. For example, the president has been kidnapped by ninjas. Are you a bro enough dude to rescue the president? GI bro. What is a bro? A dog whose shit is yet to be discovered. Dude, bro, my shit. And then when you instead of choosing single player or multiplayer, you choose brolo or bromance.
So
Here's a Mega Man, but in the back is Dude Bro.
This actually is interesting.
What will Dude Bro do? He's fighting a hoot hoot.
This
Is a dude
interesting.
not entitled to the sweat of his bro? Dracula says, what is a dude bro? A miserable little pile of straight up dog time.
So you know what this is? This is kind of, we had like internet culture, like before the
I
day.
noticed you were laughing so hard at Dude Bro that you had to pause the show, finish your laughing, and then come back into it.
Well, the studio audience was also laughing, but
You see, this is what happens when you don't use a shitty college humor thing of the day like Rib, right? You use a high quality Dude Bro thing of the day. In fact, I think it might be a
Brotacular.
bro of the day.
Bro of the day. Maybe that'll be it from
Or
now
thing
on.
of the bro.
Bro of the bro. Anyway,
Dude of the bro. Yeah.
bro.
That's right.
So you know what this is? Remember back in the day, the Photoshop Fridays, like the old Photoshop Fridays and Something Awful, that were basically one picture. And then people just took that one picture and kept like adding to it or doing things with just that one picture. Like this whole kind of meme narrative evolved that was self-referential. Dude Bro is very reminiscent of that. And you don't see that as often anymore. All the Photoshoppy things and everything now are much more like people take a concept and run with it in many, many different directions.
The one thing that I have learned from Dude Bro, and I think, I just want to get to the PAX stuff, right, is that I think the solution to the internet is to turn...
What, the final boss?
Yes.
Or the square boss?
No, just the solution, right? The answer is to turn flame wars into creativity. If someone's having a flame war, just start making... Don't just post like the O'Reilly Owl. You have to start posting shit specific to that flame war in the photoshopped and funny video category, right? Turn all the negative...
You know what that is? That's FARC.
I know, right? But you got to spread it. So anytime there is flame warring on the internet, we have to turn that energy into creativity. Take any energies on the internet that are
You realize what you found here, Scott.
and turn them into creation.
You do realize this is a source of infinite energy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It is perpetual.
Imagine if we could harness all of the flame war on the internet and use it to boil water and then run that steam through a turbine. We could power freaking a rocket to go to the moon.
Or in the very least, much
10
more
times.
much more relevant. We could
we could lift 10 Pokemon.
make a Valve game.
You could probably
Valve, Steam.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Not as
yeah.
funny as all the stuff that I've been saying.
But much more relevant because you see that creativity can only be used to make creative things. We can't make physical things yet.
It's a secret to every bro.
So, very, very briefly, and we're going to skip a lot of it now because we can talk about it in the real part of the show, the meta moment. Carl Sagan's Cosmos is the book. Read it.
Yes, read Carl Sagan's Cosmos. We're not going to discuss any PAX East in the meta moment. Oh, wait, I just did. PAX East is this weekend. If you don't go, if you don't already have tickets, it's sold out. I'm sorry.
If you don't go, you should keep an eye out at the Geeknights Twitter account. And you should keep an eye out on our website.
Twitter.com/Geeknights, frontrecruit.com.
And on our Ustream. I don't know what the fuck the URL is for that.
Ustream.com, something. Just search for Geeknights. It shows up right away on Ustream.
Because we are going to the best of our
I'll
ability,
post the news at frontrecruit.com.
live stream key moments of PAX.
We're going to stream We're going to try to stream as much as we can. We might have to resort to audio only. We've never really tried this before. It's totally experimental.
If we do audio only, I'm going to have to take that image of Nerve when I go to audio only in the end.
It should just be like audio only, say.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'll do it.
You got to put the Geeknights logo on there also. We're going to try to do as much content push straight from PAX as we can, and also Anime Boston, and also during the week in between PAX East and Anime Boston when we're in Boston. And we're going to upload YouTube videos.
We can only stream up to the extent that the data cards we have rented will allow us, coupled with the bandwidth we can steal. So for things that don't get streamed, you can also expect pretty big data squirts periodically.
We're going to be putting the pictures direct to Flickr from our phones and all this kind of stuff. So keep your eye on all this stuff. if you cannot go to PAX East, and you will get the second best PAX East experience. And the thing is, you could go to like IGN or wherever, or GameSpot. Or,
Have you watched their coverage?
yeah, and you'll get this typical G4 kind of coverage where there's an anchor saying stuff.
We're here live
And
at
all
the exhibition hall
and
in
all
front
those
of the
people-
Microsoft booth. What have you got for us at the
or
Microsoft
Kotaku,
booth?
right? And they'll show you the stuff at the booths, and they'll show you the big names, and you go to Kotaku, whatever. We're gonna show you like the street level shit that no one else shows you. We're gonna show you like people playing tabletop games in the tabletop gaming room. We're gonna show you demos of like some random tabletop
If
game.
at all possible, we're going to live stream Action Castle.
We're gonna show you some small time stuff, and we're it'll be like you're at PAX, not like you're at some press conference of PAX. So enjoy. If you have any tech tips for us that can help us out, we appreciate those.
We're doing this.
It's totally experimental for us.
Super ghetto, based on what we learned.
But it's
at these
also
next
going to
two
be
conventions.
super authentic. And share it with all your friends. And please don't bring our site down. Just, go to Ustream, YouTube, Flickr, Twitter. Those will not go down.
Well,
Twitter will go down. But.
There's a reason why I did not build our video hosting server yet.
Yeah,
We're not using that for this. We're going to use that after we figure out how much bandwidth you assholes take up.
Right. So, keep an eye out. Okay. And of course, I said already, Anime Boston the weekend after that.
Awesome Con, we'll be there.
Awesome Con, we're going to do the same kind of thing, but there's probably going to be less coverage because there's less to cover. And there are many, things we can't bring cameras into, like concerts and such, of Nobu. If he does some sort of concert.
I note that there doesn't seem to be any problem with cameras at the PAX concerts.
Yes.
Huh.
Because PAX is cool. I don't know. Anyway. The weekend after that is the Mocha Arts Festival in New York City at the Armory on Lexington Avenue. If you are in New York City and you are a human being who is literate and can read and can look at pictures, you should be there.
Wait a minute. Literate and can read and can look at pictures. You only need at least one of those.
Well, the thing is, actually, I know there's a blind dude who reads comics, but it's like, I don't think there's going to be too many Braille comics.
However, but
Honestly,
if you can look
sad.
at pictures, I mean...
Yeah. So you should come to the Mocha Arts Festival if you're a human being within distance of New York City. No excuse. It's wicked cheap. It's wicked awesome. You just come for one day, Saturday or Sunday. You don't really need to come both days unless you're really into it and you maybe want to see panels on both days or something like that. There aren't really that many panels. I think there's one panel room, period.
Yep. It's also, to be honest, if you want to say hi to us or meet us even for a little bit...
It'll be way more chill because we'll just, we don't spend all day there constantly rushing around to things, waiting in lines and that. We're just chilling in New York. We'll hang out all night. We live here, whatever.
We should see if we can plan some sort of a Geeknights event. We'll all go to Barcade.
Everyone goes to Barcade. We should go somewhere else.
But I want to go to Barcade. I'm suddenly inspired to go to Barcade and get ridiculous.
It'll be so crowded and stuff. It's too popular. We got to go to a less popular place.
So what, some shitty dive bar with like one broken Ms. Pac-Man machine?
No, we can just go somewhere, that's...
Where? Fun Spot?
Yeah. If you live in New Hampshire, we're probably going to Fun Spot sometime between PAX East and Anime Boston. Just me and Rim.
Yes.
It's the biggest arcade in the world.
Follow the Geeknights Twitter. If you're in Boston, there's a good chance that you can hang out with us a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that was possibly the most egotistical sounding thing I've ever said.
I don't know.
If you're there, you might be able to hang out with us.
If you're there and you want to hang out with us, you definitely can. Unless you're a fanboy, get away. Okay, so let's get on to the non-meta bits.
Every day I'm hustling. 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 Every day I'm hustling.
All right, I think that we are in sort of a unique position here, and that we are probably some of the only people who went to PAX West more than once, and also have experience with, the convention center in Boston.
Yep.
And have sort of an inside track on the convention a little bit, and I think that we may be more qualified than most people to give you the survival guide to PAX East.
Which is, there's an asterisk there because we are basing all of this on everything we're extrapolating from what we know about the people running PAX East and what happened at PAX West, coupled with our knowledge of Anime Boston.
Yep, and many other things we have knowledge of, like conventions in general. We've been to a ton of them.
We may be wrong. And also, if it's like the year 2040 and you're listening to this, it's probably changed.
Go listen to the PAX East 2011 coverage.
I mean, I listened to our old, Otakon, like what to do at Otakon, and it was perfectly valid back then. doesn't really work so much
Oh,
anymore.
really? Oh,
like
shit.
about the Artist Alley.
What did we
Artist
say- what did we
Alley's changed-
say?
Well, Artist Alley, in terms of like what sells, changed like 100%.
Oh, we were talking about
And
that. Okay.
remember back when the
But
line...
that's not a survival guide for an attendee.
Yeah.
But that is true. We did.
And remember the advice of, just show up late at the line on Thursday. You'll be right through, get your badge. That doesn't apply anymore.
No, that changed that year. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
So here is the PAX East survival guide. Number one thing you have to remember is that parking in Boston sucks ass. It costs a fortune.
Don't even like try. Just park outside and take a cab in. Don't take the T.
And we were gonna take the Bolt bus, but we bought tickets too late, so it was actually like $50.
Yeah,
we're just
because,
taking fucking JetBlue. It's like $200 total for the round trip flight.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. It gets in there in 45
I
minutes.
think this sort of advice is too little too late for anyone who's going.
Probably. Okay, so here's some advice you can use. Number one, remember, PAX East doesn't start until 2 p.m. on Friday.
So you know what you should do on Friday? You should hang out in Boston with all the PAX people. It is going to be like a cloud of locusts descending onto that fair city. I mean, Seattle, tiny little city. PAX, not nearly as big as they say it is because they lie about the attendance numbers. Smaller than Otakon, but still big. When PAX ended and before PAX began, everywhere you went, there's like 100 PAX people everywhere.
Yep, so
every restaurant, every bar, every bathroom, every street
Just
corner.
go to any cool place in Boston, leading up to PAX East, and there'll be PAX people hanging out. They'll be in like the comic store. They'll be up in the restaurants. They'll be
They'll
up
be at
in
the Trident
They'll be up
Cafe.
in the Apple store. The Trident Cafe. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait until after PAX, in between. I'm not gonna try to eat there during a convention. I'm
However,
gonna eat there
it is-
during the week.
Well, let's talk about that on food later.
All right.
So yeah, basically anyone you meet, and it'll be obvious who the PAX people are. PAX people all kind of look the same. They look like 20 to 30 something gamers wearing gamer shirts.
You can tell who's a PAX person. If you
Vaguely
can't,
hip.
what are you doing there?
You're going to see Timbuktu bags. You're going to see laptops. You're going to see DSs, PSPs.
Yep. Now, remember, PAX East, even though it begins at like 2 p.m., right? I believe that you can actually get into, right, PAX East much earlier than 2 p.m. You'll be able to get in and start waiting in line, I think, earlier than that. If you look at the official PAX East Twitter, it will tell you, I think maybe even 10 is the time that you can go wait in line. I'm not exactly sure. But the point is that you can go, here we go, oh. What are you doing?
Go on.
Okay. What did you do?
I accidentally opened a browser tab that played stuff.
Okay.
That's fine. You can look up what you're looking up. It was. She told me her name was Billie Jean. She caused a scene. She's just the girl who said that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. Tee-hee-hee. Tee-hee-hee. Are you finished looking up whatever you're looking at?
I'm having a hard time finding it on this page. Oh, here we go. I got it. Okay.
All right.
Yes, the lineup indeed starts at 10 a.m. on Friday, 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So the thing is, you want to wait in line at like Otakon. Oh, it sucks. It sucks. It does suck. At PAX, the line is awesome because you're sitting, you're indoors, and there's PAX people everywhere. And
Now-
basically, it's like this. It's sort of like a party. It's
Now, at the
not
same
really
time,
a line.
We are, at PAX West, lineup is inside the convention center in a room that is dedicated to lining up.
Yeah, it's going to be the same at PAX East. I think there's going to be a queue room. I'm
better
like
be.
90% positive. Now, the thing is, they're going to open the doors to the exhibit hall and the keynote simultaneously. So you're going to wait in this. You're going to wait in this line, and then and you can get in the line as early as 10 a.m. And then at 3 p.m. they're going to open, and you can go in the exhibit hall or you can go into the keynote. And pretty much, there's no reason to go into, unless you are like the person who really, really wants to play like a game that isn't out yet. There's no reason to wait in the exhibit hall line.
Yeah, well, you go into the exhibit hall for one long stint whenever you can get into the exhibit hall. Like, plan it out. Don't do it right away on any day, because that's whenever other asshole's doing it.
Yep. Go to the keynote. It's mandatory. I mean, Will Wheaton, I'm not even like a big fan of this Will Wheaton guy.
I'll admit.
And he's done the keynote before. You can watch his old one on the internets or
Yeah.
on the PAX DVDs. But you can't miss the keynote. You just can't. You
It's
gotta
kind
go.
of like if you're used to anime conventions or gaming conventions like other than PAX, the keynote at PAX is not just a keynote. It is the opening ceremony. It is the con. The con begins at that event.
It is a real deal. It is not miss. If you did not go to the keynote, you did not go to PAX.
And we
you might as
believe-
well have just stayed home.
We believe that the main events hall at the Hines, where Anime Boston also puts its main events hall, has an upper tier that PAX will have open.
It absolutely, I have like 99% confirmed that the upper tier does exist. Remember, we saw it when we were at Anime Boston during that concert. And it was unused at Anime Boston.
Because Anime Boston's tiny compared to PAX.
If you look at the back of the PAX badge, which I saw a picture of, it specifically lists the upper deck as a room that is available on the back of the badge. Therefore, it is a safe assumption that the upper decks of the main events theater will be open, and thus,
oh my God! If I go to the Friday concert, like after our last,
you're just
panel,
gonna wait in the upper decks.
I might just go to the upper deck and lay down.
I'm thinking for all the concerts, I'm just gonna go to the upper deck and chill.
It's hard to say.
Anyway. The point is that there will be ample seating for the main events.
Yes,
you don't. If you only really need to wait in the line if you want to be kind of close.
But the keynote is mandatory. It is crazy awesome. If you ever, other cons, the opening ceremonies are like boring or crappy or whatever. The keynote is so great, and right after it is the PA Q&A panel number 1.
Now, this is where we have to talk about my vision.
Ah, the vision.
Now, if you do not know about having a vision, go and listen to the old Geeknights episode about the vision.
I foresee
and the
nothing
bamboo.
but small mushrooms.
Yes.
As far as the eye can see.
Now, I've decided that there is a new game we are playing. The new game is basically the vision tally game. Every time you have a vision and the vision becomes reality, you score 1 point. And this game will end when we are both dead. And that will be the game.
So are we starting the scores at 0 now, or are we going to try to retcon previous
Have you
visions?
any visions that you have become reality?
Do I envisioned a podcast.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I have this vision, right? And the vision is this. If you do not know, you probably don't if you didn't go to PAX West ever, that when Gabe and Tycho appear on the stage for a Q&A panel, the song Every Day I Am Hustling is the intro song. It is always the intro song. One time they forgot to use it and someone reminded them. They left the stage, then re-entered to the song as was necessary. You can find a video of this on the YouTube. I have made a forum thread on our forums with 4 such videos demonstrating that this is indeed a tradition. There is a 99.9% chance that this will be the intro song to Q&A 1 and possibly even 2. My vision is this. Before Every Day I'm Hustling comes in over the stereo system and the loudspeakers in the main event hall, if the entire keynote audience of PAX, because it's immediately after the keynote, like you literally just stay seated and then they come out, right?
And it's not just they come out like rock stars, because they are rock stars at this point.
It's their convention. So if everybody were to sing just Every Day I'm Hustling. They don't even really need to sing. We just need to chant. Every day I'm hustling. Over and over again in unison. The whole theater, the entire audience were to just do this up until the point at which it comes in over the music. It would be the epic.
Now, it would be a nice kind of welcome to the better coast to Gabe and Tycho.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's like PAX West has never done something quite that epic. So if PAX East were able to pull this off immediately from the get-go, right? Not only would this say East is better than West, bitches, right? It would also...
Who gets the sun first, ladies? That's right.
It would also set the tone for the remainder of PAX in a very high-quality way.
In the same manner that we have a vague plan at another big convention of giving all the people who have to line up outside chalk, because we don't want them to like graffiti with markers on the wall.
Yes.
But if you give them chalk and you do not draw something nice first, if the first thing someone draws is a penis, it's all over.
Yep, but if we get someone to draw some nice arts and then we give chalk out, it will just be nice arts.
So our goal is to prevent a PAX penis.
Yes. So this is going to set the tone. So I need everyone listening to this. What's going to happen is the timing is going to be rough. Okay.
Now, we learned a long time ago, Scott and I were discussing this. We attempted something similar at another con, an Otakon, a long time ago. We failed. And the reason we failed, I'll link to it. Scott actually pointed this video out to me. I've never seen it before. It's the principles of leadership. But basically, if you try to start something like this in the wrong way, you're just one weirdo loser.
Yep.
But if you do it in the right way, you're only a weirdo loser for a few minutes, and then you win.
Yep.
So we're doing this in the right way. This is a calculated move.
The problem is we need proper execution, right? I will begin. Thing is, what will my timing be? Will I do it as soon as the keynote is over? I think what I'm going to have to do is the keynote will end. He'll leave the stage, right? And then, like, as soon as things are sort of settle, then I will have to begin it at that moment because I can't, right? Because who knows how long it's going to be? It's going to need a few minutes to build up.
But wow, it depends on if they're going to show those ads between too.
That's the thing is I completely forgot. I thought this was going to be easy to get this going, but they usually play ads, video ads, and music while the crowd is sitting in the events hall.
And if we start this thing up,
We're going to have
like 45
We're
minutes.
going to have, yeah, if it's like, no, it's not going to be 45 minutes. It's
Maybe
going to be
they have a technical problem. They can't find the hustling.
Yeah, depending on how long it takes for them to, right? We're going to have to, it will take some loudness and some effort to get this going above the music and advertisements that may or may not be playing. So
No, I thought of something. What if they're standing back there, they've got the guy with the hustling ready, and the crowd starts doing this. If they decide not to play it, they just walk out to the crowds hustling.
That's fine. That's fine. It's still epic awesomeness, right?
Yeah.
The point is, I'm going to begin it. Will Wheaton leaves the stage. Things settle for literally 10 seconds. I will start on my own because if I start with a group, then it doesn't work. It has to be me, and then I need someone else I
believe I will be the second one. We'll stay kind of apart from each other.
We need to do something.
It'll be choreographed. Scott will start. Every day I'm hustling. Every day
That's all
hustling.
you had to do is just say that over and over again in unison.
And I'll be like 10 or 15 feet away, and I'll look at him and kind of pointedly be like, every day I'm hustling, like doing the arm throw at him, and then he'll throw the arm throw back, and we'll do it together. We need like 4 or 5 more stooges to one by one start doing that with us and converge on a spot. Every day I'm hustling. And if we get enough people to do it, the whole crowd will do it, and it'll be a beautiful Ghost in the Shell, like second order simulacra.
You shouldn't move from your location. You should stay where you are while you are hustling.
A few people moving toward while they're doing it, that'll lead a trail.
No, it's no good because we need the volume to spread around this. You realize how big it's going to be? Remember that Calafina concert?
Yep.
And the upper deck.
But remember, you need a core of people to, like a few people in one area who then are loud enough to cause it to spread, and then people further away see it, and then they start doing it further away.
Just stay where you are. Trust me. I have calculated this. Right?
However, we will probably have we have an artifact from PAX West. I don't know how many will be there, but we are bringing it.
Yes.
The Pip-Boy. It was weird. At the first PAX that we went to, it was one of the most sought after things. There were a few hundred of them at the con, and the people who had them they stood out and they used them to great effect. The next PAX, only like 15 or 20 people brought them, and those people used them to epic effect. PAX East, years later, there's going to be like 5.
And those are going to be epic. Anyway,
I'm bringing mine.
You're going to hustle it.
I'm going to hustle it. Every day I'm hustling.
All right, so that's what we got to do. That's the vision. Let's make it a reality. Okay, anyway, the Q&A panels, in all honesty, aren't really Q&A panels. I mean, you can Q&A, but usually it's basically your chance as to step up to the mic and make something happen. So, for example, people will come up and say, hey, everybody, just so you know, Cookie Brigade, oh shit. Or, hey, you forgot to play. Every day I'm hustling. Or
a lot of people do cool stuff. One guy sang, Rickroll. One guy played a Rickroll.
Yep, there was those guys who sang the whatever song, the snipe. What's it called? The horse song.
Oh yeah, or the guys who brought the cardboard cutout of their friend who couldn't be there and got the cardboard cutout on stage. Now, don't be a jackass and be like, hey, blah, like try to sell something or anything, but. Got to do something cool. No, I mean, every question.
Or you have to have a really
them.
good question. You can't go up and ask the lame question. It's got to be the high quality question.
Of course, it's interesting because PAX West, I think the reason this culture came was that the same people, by and large, go to PAX West every year. So they already asked all the questions probably like 6 PAXs ago.
PAX East is going to be a lot of reruns.
Yep, there's going to be a lot of people asking real questions that would never get asked at PAX West, I think.
All right, anyway. After the P&A panel 1, right, Q&A panel 1, my suggestion to you is that if you want a official PAX merchandise, as in t-shirts, the official PAX East scarf, PAX East whatever, you should get thee to the merchandise booth.
That stuff is going to sell out before the end of the day on Friday.
People don't realize this. You go to Otakon, you can buy an Otakon shirt at Otakon. They make a new one every year. At New York Anime Festival, you can buy merchandise that says New York Anime Festival with like the little Liberty Girl on there.
Yep.
Every convention I've been to sells merchandise for itself. PAX That merchandise sells out every single year. If you do not get it on Friday or perhaps early Saturday, you will not get it. You will not get a PAX East shirt. There are not enough for everybody.
And especially,
if you want one, get in line and get one.
PAX did not expect the response they got. They did not expect the con to sell out and then extend it and then still sell out. They are not, when they decided way back how much merch to print, there is no way on this freaking earth they understood how many people are going to be there. That stuff's going to sell out.
They said in their Twitter that it's going to sell out.
Well, they know now.
Yeah.
But if they'd listened to us way back, they would have printed like 18,000 t-shirts and probably still sold out.
Yeah. So if you want, right, the shirt, you had better. There will be a very limited number of PAX shirts available. If you show up on Friday, you shouldn't have a problem snagging one, though. Right? That is from the official PAX on Twitter.
So, panels, just go to any panel you like. However, if you
go to our panels.
If you want to see a panel, I'm not sure 100% how this will happen, but there aren't that many panels at a PAX compared to, say, an anime con.
Yeah, they all have breaks in between them, and there really aren't that many each day. There's really only 3 theaters that have panels in them, and pretty much every panel fills up maximum. So you got to wait in line to go to a panel.
And, like, for example, our first panel at PAX ever, PAX West, years ago, Beyond Dungeons & Dragons, people lined up for like an hour and a half, and the room filled up almost immediately, and then almost no one got to see it.
Yep. They will not let you in once all the seats are filled. But enforcers will make a very good job of making sure there is an ass in every seat, and there are no empty seats.
Yes. But if you are looking for a panel to see, our first one, Beyond Dungeons & Dragons, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Friday.
Sadly conflicting with the beginning of the Friday night concert.
In the Wyvern Theater.
Wyvern Theater.
Wyvern. I like
anyway,
Wyvern.
Our second panel, Losing Should Be Fun, 11:30 to 12:30 in the morning.
So overnight, Friday, also in the Wyvern Theater.
Wyvern Theater, also conflicting with the Friday night concerts.
Which is fine.
If you are a Friday night concert person, if you want to see the front a lot, the Anamanaguchi, the Metroid Metal, the Proto Men, just don't come to those panels.
Yeah, we won't feel bad. We're going to record them. We're going to put them
If
online.
I didn't have those panels at those times, I'd be going to that concert too.
However, I don't feel bad because we're going to go to PAX East or PAX West in like 6 months.
And see the same. We've already seen all those people.
Yes, and they're awesome, but I don't need to see them again. I really just want Joko to sing to me all night.
Yeah, which will happen on Saturday night.
Yes.
We are not doing anything on Saturday except awesome. We'll be going to Expo Hall. We'll be playing games. This is something people don't realize about PAX. It's sort of obvious, though. You got nothing to do? Oh, nothing on the schedule looks good right now. I already saw every booth in the expo hall. I'm bored. You can't be bored at PAX. You can always play games. Go to the open PC gaming. Go to the open console gaming. Go to the open tabletop gaming, most of all, and just fucking play games. You can play games all night long.
And everybody's cool. I mean, even gaming cons I've gone to, other than PAX, you might be used to this. You want to play a game, you find one cool guy who wants to play with you, 2 really scary guys, you're trying to tell him the game's full even though it's not, and then you're trying to like slowly look for the one other cool looking person around. Everybody's cool at PAX.
Yeah.
It is very rare to deal with an uncool person.
And the tabletop gaming areas are so happening. I was in the tabletop gaming area PAX West last year, and it was like I'd be teaching 2 separate groups of people to play Agricola at the same time, and then I'd bust out a Dominion, and then I would, talk to someone about a sushi game that they were playing and ask them if it was good or not, and then I'd get a demo from some guy who's trying to sell a game he made, and then I would go and check out another game and that I never heard of, read the rules and play it, and then bust out another Dominion, and then teach someone Puerto Rico, and then it's
word of warning though. The game that was hot at the last PAX at PAX
Dominion.
West was Dominion. It will be hot at PAX East.
If you want to play Dominion, bring your own, buy one beforehand. There will be dealers. I know the Complete Strategist will be in the Expo Hall selling games. I know that Luke Crane, Jared Sorensen, and some friends will be demoing things at that booth and possibly also in the tabletop area. And they will sell games, and there will probably be other sellers of games as well. But hot games like Dominion will probably sell out. You should bring your own copy, play someone else's copy, etc., etc.
But my word of warning to you is that there is a very similar game that if you hear the description of it, you will think it's the best game ever. It's Dominion with dungeon crawling. It's called Thunderstone.
Oh, Thunderstone has a special inside joke meaning for us.
It does. It is, however, not that good. So do not worry about playing Thunderstone at PAX.
For us, it's not that good. I think the vast majority of our listeners would be like, oh my God, Thunderstone's so awesome.
Well, just be warned, because it's a game that you might start playing that will just drag on forever if the cards
you don't want to
wrong.
play something that's too long, because you might, right? Make sure you look at the schedule before you get into something like that.
And also, they'll probably have retro gaming and, modern gaming. And usually the way it works is you just go check out a game, find some people and play it. And they have leaderboards and all sorts of cool stuff.
A very good idea if you want to save time is look for people who are, game makers. Like Steve Jackson is there. Just go to him and be like, hey, I want to play a game. And he'll have a game that you can play and someone will teach it to you real quick and you'll be on the road.
Don't be afraid to go up to those people, all the like Luke Crane or Steve Jackson, and just ask if they want to play a game with you. They very well might just say yes.
Yeah. Talking to anyone, everyone at PAX is awesome. There's like almost 0% fanboys. Not going to say 0%, but almost 0% fanboys. You just go up to people and be like, if they got a DS, just be like, what's up, Mario Kart? And people be like, hells yeah, there you go, rock and roll.
Till the wireless breaks.
Yeah, also, if you are, the dogs are tired at any time, head for the beanbags.
Will they be there?
I'm pretty sure the beanbags will be there. How can they not?
Check. I don't know.
There's got to be beanbags.
I would assume there's going to be sumos, but
if there's no beanbags, I don't know what the hell. That's not PAX. That just ain't PAX.
We'll see.
There's got to be beanbags. If there's no beanbags, kill yourself. And always, if you ever get to the beanbags and there's a free beanbag, just always hold on to one extra one. That way, if I walk by and you have a beanbag saved for me, you'll be my best friend.
So unlike an anime con or a con you might normally go to, where there's a million events and you have to choose, like, do I want to go to this or this? It's really easy to plot your way through PAX. Just look at the panel schedule and look at the concert schedule and circle like the 5 things you really want to do and split all the rest of the time between eating, don't forget to eat, hanging out, playing games, hanging out, playing games, hanging out.
Hanging out, playing games.
Going to the exhibit hall once or twice, and that's it. There's nothing else doing it.
The only things, you cannot miss the keynote. You should probably not miss P&A Panel 1 because you're going to help me with my vision, if nothing else.
If you have not been to a PAX before,
you should go to all the concerts. If
from
you
start
have
to finish,
not,
do not leave the concert and go to bed.
The concerts will most likely go until 2 a.m. when the con closes, right? I think the con closes 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, I think it closes at 6.
Yep.
Right? It opens at 2 p.m. Well, the line opens at 10 a.m. Friday, but the con opens at 2 p.m. Friday. It opens at 10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. There you go.
Now, if you have never been to a PAX, go to the PA Make a Strip. It's awesome, but only go
I've
to
actually
one.
never been to it.
We failed because, well, they failed.
I always fail to go to it for some reason.
They failed last year, and we bailed.
Oh, right.
Remember? Yeah.
There was the tech problem last year and they moved it so we didn't go, but we almost made it. So there is some sort of curse. We never end up going to the Make a Strip panel.
I'm going to try to go to it.
You know what? I will also try to go to it and hopefully there'll be the hot dog fairy.
Well, remember, we have an advantage. The Heinz has the upper deck.
You want to go to the upper deck for the Make a Strip? Good call.
I think
Good
the upper
call.
deck. I'm not sure. This is total speculation. I will wager the upper deck will be the safe, guaranteed way to see any main event.
Here's some other random advices. Let's say you've got some friends going to PAX, right? Like some people on the internet, and you want to meet up with them, but you don't know where and when. One of the best places to meet up with someone is to just say, hey, everyone, go to Omegathon round number 1. Right? Because the early Omegathon rounds are actually some of the lesser attended events.
However, that's tricky because that's at PAX West where, people are used to it. It's hard to say.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should give Omegathon advice. The Omegathon has changed this year, right? Because they used to have problems where they would ask you when you registered, do you want to be an Omegonaut? And people say no. And they have a hard time finding Omegonauts. What they're doing is at PAX, walking into the keynote, if you want to be an Omegonaut, you will fill out a form. Then they will, after the keynote, pull from a box or a hat the people who will be Omegonauts, and they will pair people up into teams of 2 randomly. You don't know who your partner is going to be.
Now, I point out, keynote 3 to 4, PA panel 4 to 5, Omegathon round 1 5 to 6.
Yep.
They're moving rapidly.
Yes, so if you want to be an Omegonaut, that you have to go to the keynote, fill out the form, etc., wait for them to pick out of the hat. If you come up, you come up. It's going to be an all co-op Omegathon, right? The first 3 rounds are going to be like rhythm game, Mario Kart Double Dash, and something else I forget. And then the final rounds, I don't even know what they're going to be. They're secrets, I guess. You cannot miss the final round, the closing ceremony from 5 to 6. There is nothing conflicting with it ever.
That is, and the thing is, the general thing to do at PAX, this is the one time, no matter what, you should just line up way early. Because that line is kind of the end run of the con. And everyone lines up, you all go in, they fuck up the technology for like an hour, and then they have the final round of the Omegathon. And then PAX ends, and everyone walks outside.
Yes, no, you cannot miss the closing ceremony. You must wait in line for it. You must go to it. Otherwise, it's not PAX. Why are you coming? You know?
Now, the only
you
other
should have just
things
stayed at home, given your badge to someone else.
you must attend, and this is not our panel. We are not doing it. Jared Sorensen is doing it. At 10:30 a.m., also in the Wyvern Theater. Every panel we have is in the Wyvern Theater.
Because the Wyvern Theater is awesome. It's
I got
the
you.
best
You said
theater.
Wyvern. I got it. Gotcha.
Fuck you.
Got it.
The Wyvern Theater.
Action Castle. If you do not know what that is, show up. Seriously. It has been the secret event 2 PAXs in a row.
But now it is finally not secret anymore.
Steve Jackson played it, and then he later tweeted about how crazy awesome it was.
Yep. And immediately following that is Beyond Candyland, our panel.
And you know what? Because we have it's Jared and Luke, and we're gonna help them like in the background, and then us, we might just like continue like last year we did Action Castle secret event, right? Then me, Scott, and Jared did kind of a game design gaming Q&A for the rest of the half hour. We've then got the half hour in the room before our panel.
Well, is it really a half-hour break? It is a half-hour break.
So we'll probably just keep doing stuff in that room.
Yeah,
So,
I heard, though, that Action Castle is also going to include Jungle Adventure.
oh my God.
That's right. You're going to get 2 for the price of 1.
So if you show up in the Wyvern Theater for the 10:30 a.m. panel on Sunday,
Just don't leave. Just stay there.
from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., crazy shit's going down in there.
That's going to be our hotness.
That is the Geeknights, and
then pretty much at 1 p.m., I'm going to go eat lunch. Then I'm going to play a few games. Then I'm going to get in line for the closing ceremony, and that's going to be it. That's my Sunday. I already know what my Sunday is going to be.
now, if you are an old man and you cannot stay up until 2 a.m. for 2 concerts 2 days in a row, and this is your only PAX you can ever go to, I would recommend going to the Saturday concert over the Friday concert if you have to choose.
Yeah.
Because Paul and Storm are kind of like a more modern, more vulgar version of the Smothers Brothers. They're not as funny, I would say, as the Smothers Brothers, but
They've been
it's a similar vibe.
Yeah, they're cool. They've been touring with Jonathan Colton, so...
And Jonathan Colton,
It's also the video game orchestra.
Yes,
Paul
Jesus.
and Storm, then Jonathan Colton.
and usually, remember, MC Frontalot will probably slip in and sing at least one song with all these guys.
Maybe. I
But-
can guarantee you that Jonathan Colton will slip in and sing with MC Frontalot
Jonathan Colton
on Friday night.
is almost my favorite part of every PAX, even though he sings the same goddamn songs every PAX.
Well, 90% the same.
yeah, the
goddamn
Fancy
songs.
Pants song.
Did you see that epic picture I showed you?
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my. But it's just like your dad singing to you with an acoustic guitar, and it's just the nicest thing in the world. And it's the whole crowd singing with him. It's so great. I love it so much.
All right. Is there any other PAXing
So
advice?
if you want to eat food, we know the Boston area from other cons. Here's the deal. If you have money, it's easy. Walk out the front of the convention center, not the mall entrance, but like the main entrance. Walk 2 blocks away from the convention center.
There is a street with all sorts of little fancy restaurants.
They're super fancy. They're super expensive. They're super
They're not
good.
super expensive. They're just,
Well, they're expensive.
they're medium expensive.
Relative-
Like if
I
it
mean-
was if it was like Yelp, they would be $2 signs.
They range from like $10 to $30 for lunch.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, but we're kind of spoiled by New York. I mean, think of the average con goer like, McDonald's, I don't know, a little pricey.
Okay.
If you do not, and also, if you need to get away from someone, that is the way to go because you can usually divide up to a fancy restaurant, get a reservation, and get away from the crowd.
There's also an Apple store around and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know.
The crowd of the con probably will not go over there that often because they're not going to know about all those restaurants.
Most of the people are going to be going to the food court in the mall that is attached to the convention center.
Avoid
and
it at all costs.
Avoid that food court. It will be doom. You'll be waiting in line for like an hour to get like a mediocre taco at Qdoba or some shit.
So if you need cheap food, walk out the convention center, like the main entrance, turn left, and walk off into what looks like kind of a shadier area. There's bodegas and cheap restaurants and stuff over there.
Here's a secret to everybody. If you turn to the right, near the food court, I'm pretty sure it's near the food court, but sort of outside, near like these outside tables, kind of down in the street, there is a grocery store. Around near the convention center somewhere. I think it's a Shaw's, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's still there. You can go to the grocery store and get freaking food that you can eat. It's probably going to be no line, even though there's a gigantic convention, you're just going to be able to walk in the grocery store, get food. It's going to be all good.
Yep.
It'll cost a grocery store normal price as a normal grocery store, and it's food. It's probably going to be better than the food court also, so hell yeah.
Nope, if you have time at all, and also this place is cheap, go to the Trident Cafe and get breakfast or lunch or
Good
dinner.
luck waiting in line. There's a line to get into the Trident Cafe at Anime Boston. You're going to be waiting all day to eat at the Trident
There's
Cafe.
a line to get into the Trident Cafe on a normal day.
Yeah, that's why I'm not eating there until the week.
That place is so awesome. You gonna remember your syrup?
They gave me real syrup.
Of course, you can't fly with it.
Nope. It's all right. I'll use it up in New Hampshire. Any other? I'm thinking
Just
we
don't
covered
feel like
it.
you have to go to a million events. There's not that much. Pick the panels you want. Pick the events you want.
You just got to go to the exhibit hall, get it covered. Get the go-to events I listed: keynote, PA panel 1, make a strip, concerts, closing ceremonies. You got to have all those covered. Spend the rest of the time playing games, hanging out, and going to our panels.
This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geeknights is not one, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.